Many happy returns.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so we're speaking about the award ceremony that took place yesterday. We saw a good number of appointees, walking away with some awards. The top of them all being the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, being awarded with the Order of the Starr of Ghana. First of all, your general thoughts on the award ceremony, on the awards itself, I mean.
Yeah, let me set certain records straight. Awards in politics are not new, particularly so when we talk about Ghana. And all over the world, countries give awards to their citizens for various contributions. And that is why the executive all over the world has a responsibility. That if you are executive and you are the head of state, one of your functions is that you are the fount of honor. What does it mean? When they say somebody is a fount of honor, he gives honor to deserving citizens. So on that basis, there's nothing wrong with the president giving award or honoring some people for the work that they've done for the country.
Now, I mean, that is established. Many have referenced it. And this award in question was instituted as far back as 1960. But, I think one of the major concerns that have come up is that over the years, it looks as though there is a dilution of the whole idea behind that award ceremony. That when it started, it was given to people who had done groundbreaking things, innovative things. But over the years, you've seen that the political class has diluted it. And that's where some of them, the concerns are coming from. Others are also talking about how they feel that some of the people are not deserving of the award. For those who think that over the years we have diluted, the real idea or reasoning behind this award, do these people have any, genuine cause?
The actual fact, in point of fact, when we're talking about this awards thing, we give it to those who have contributed effectively towards the country's development. And we talk about various contributions. So one would have expected the president to give a type of award to people with great contributions. And so if you give an award, it shouldn't be just ordinary. Yes. And let us also place it as a point of fact that the president gives award to deserving citizens. So it should not only be limited to ordinary Ghanaians. If people are in his government and by his calculations, they've excelled, they perform so well, they are also deserving of awards. So once we place that in context, let's look at it. People are arguing whether the awards, we are watering down the awards or not. That point is legitimate in the sense that if we are looking at a situation where you are giving awards to people and we don't see that great contribution, then you have really watered down the award. So those that you are giving awards to, you want to look at each of them and the contribution they brought to the government and, for that matter, the state in their various ministries and whatever. So that should be the focus. If you say you're giving the vice president an award, what is it that he brought to the table? For which reason we need to celebrate him at the national level? And that same rod must be used for all those who received the award. I'm talking about awardees. So that is the calculation. If they have not brought anything substantial, anything extraordinary, then it's amount to nothing. Look, it means that, look, you are just giving party boys some glory. But if it is award, well-instituted one, a committee must be set to look at the basis for the award and all that. So after going through all this, we need to have better and better particulars about the standard they use to give the award and what is it that they were able to contribute and all that. If he's able to do that, then for me, I'll laud and praise the award. But if it falls short of these canons or standards, then I'm afraid the award will not be recognized by well-meaning Ghanaians. So that is the basis of award. Why do we give awards and honor to people? You want to urge them to do more. You want to support them so that it will serve as a learning curve for others and also motivate. It's a motivating factor in politics and in leadership. So people have contributed immensely towards this country, for which reason they've been awarded. And I, as a growing young man or woman, I want to also one day be recognized as such. I'll put in my all and do the best for my country. So this is the basis. Once you have these basic rights, then it's a good one. If not, we saw and that over the years, some John Mahama, Akufo, and Co, they gave awards. Kufuor's one was, for me, very unfortunate in the sense that he gave award to himself. You know, you are the fount of honor. You are the one giving award, so you don't give to yourself. So the good news about this one is that I'm not sure I heard that the president gave award to himself. But the people he gave, if they really, there was a body, a committee that was set up to work with certain standards to gauge their conduct and their work and all that. They must make that one public for people to know the standard and then the contribution. The bottom line is the contribution. And so once your contribution stands above all others, if you are given an award, there's nothing wrong. But if you fall short of standard that we all know and it becomes an ordinary contribution, then I'm afraid you are not deserving of that award. And that award must be thrown into the lake of fire.
I mean, so going forward, should we find, a way of redefining the criteria for this award ceremony? Because I think from time over the years, as I can remember from Kufuor's time, Professor Mills, and then John Mahama's time, through to Nana Akufo-Addo's time, consistently when the awards, are giving out, people talk about how people are undeserving of it. It's being doled out to party apparatchiks and stuff like that. Should there be, some form of, relook at it in terms of the criteria and the selection process for who gets this award?
Oh, awards. There are always award committees that they set down with a criteria, well-established criteria. You only vary them from time to time, but there is a standard by which they gauge all these things. So that is there. And every committee or every, committee responsible for awards, there is a criteria for which you have to follow. So that must be made public so that people will know. And then the time that you want to honor, there's nothing wrong, provided you follow the criteria. Because let us remember, you cannot discriminate against the ministers. They are ministers, so they are not deserving of the awards. Then you are infringement of a provision in the Constitution which says that you cannot discriminate against people. No, that is a discrimination. Provided they are Ghanaians, even if they are not Ghanaians. I know America, people even give award, U.S. President give award to people who are even outside for their contribution towards humanity. And I can give you an example. President Bush Jr. gave award to Dalai Lama for his human rights crusade and all that. Dalai Lama, was somebody from Tibet, and he was being awarded by the U.S. President. I don't know what our law says relative to that you can give award to somebody living outside this country. But that is the picture of it. So we are saying that the criteria is there. It's not that now that we are going to develop a criteria. There is criteria there. If you go through Public Service Commission and all that, they will give you a criteria which is standard. That is for the noise to end, for people to also have confidence. And in respect of what transparency, they should make that criteria available for people to follow. Then we will know that you follow the criteria, and the bottom line is your contribution. What specific contribution that they've got. The reason why people are raising finger in this issue is maybe if you look at the places that they held, the portfolios that they held, what great contribution did they bring to light? That becomes a problem. We are talking about, a particular person in a particular ministry. What substantial contribution did he or she bring to the fore that the state has decided to honor him or her? That is the bigger question. So we should impress it upon the government to release the criteria and then the contribution. Then we can have a meaningful contribution.
And then this is one was seemingly on a very lighter note. We did hear the MC for the event talk about how the president was being awarded unofficially the award for the greatest Ghanaian of our time. He emphasized that it was unofficial, but the reactions have been many people, expressing their opinions and all that about it. What do you think of that unofficial award?
Who was going to give him an unofficial award? Please, may I know the person?
Okay, so it was just the MC just announced that it was an unofficial award for the greatest Ghanaian of our time, and is a president for his exceptional leadership, among others, and invited the audience to give him a round of applause. But there wasn't any physical award given, but that was what was mentioned there.
Let us, we don't need to glorify this. One is unofficial. It is not intended for public attention. So let's treat it like that. If it's official, then we will also want to know the standard by which they use to measure that extraordinary performance of the president and all that. But if it's unofficial, I think with respect, I want to push it at the banner. I don't want to look at it at all. And in fact, I'm not going to glorify it. But if the person who's making that announcement is bold and he believes in what he is saying, he said that he should have come out forcefully to tell us that it's official award, so that we can know. We will just ask one simple question: give us the standard by which you measure this. In all this conversation, you see, that's why governance must always be it follow the principles of good governance. There is transparency. Once you are transparent about it, the way people are doubting all these things and all that is that there are a lot of questions in the areas that these people they occupy. Take for instance the vice president, head of economic committee of this government, and look at where the economy, starts from and where it ends and all that. On what basis would you say he has contributed immensely towards the economy or whatever? Whatever area that he has contributed, there's no doubt that the vice president did his bit. But that immense contribution, we want to know where is it coming from, where is the criteria and all that. If we look at, all the economies, we want to know the exceptional contribution. We want to know the standards. So once you get all these basics right to us, it settles everything. So transparency is critical in governance, that it is incumbent upon every government, because every government to be transparent in these things. Once you bring transparency into there, everybody will be quiet, and then once we know the standard and the standards are okay, why not? If we are not, we question that. So for them, for the president and his team, for this awards to be recognized and handled the way it ought to be important for them. It's a free of charge consultancy I'm giving to them. They should bring the standard, and when we get a standard and then we go through, we will agree with them or disagree with them, and then this conversation will die down. Otherwise, people will make noise about these awards, which maybe should not be the case, which maybe should be the case. So to settle this conversation, I urge them to bring the standard out. After all, it's a public office, and these are not issues that are done in secrecy. And any public office is nothing but a public book. You have the right to open it at any time and know the content.
Now, speaking of the vice president, he received the highest award on the night in terms of Order of the Star of Ghana Officer Award. Now, he's, according to what was said there, he was being awarded for his exceptional service, dedication, and contribution to national development. also his role in playing, the role he played in religious tolerance in the country as well. I mean, are these not quite enough in terms of why he's been awarded?
The contribution, I have a challenge in there, and that is exceptional contribution in terms of what? The economy. The president brought him to come and help us in the economy. That was the main focus. Did he run away from there? Or did he excel there? We want to know. The areas he's talking about, all right, what are the standards that we use? In all these things, if you want this conversation to be, professional and academic, bring the standards out so that we can measure. The measuring rod, otherwise our talking will be a much of noise and all that. When you bring the standard, we take each one of them and interrogate the standard and then look at it vis-a-vis the performance. Then we are able to know that this standard or this particular standard is not fit for purpose, for which reason I'm throwing out. So if you bring about 10 standards that you use to measure his performance and all that, for which reason you want to give the award, and he's able to score about 3, on that basis, is he entitled to the award that you are talking about? The standard is critical. Then you taking a very light aspect of it and throw it to the full standard. Right? We want full disclosure on the matter so that we can interrogate the issues and then we come out with our decisions and then we see whether we accept the award or not. It is in their own interest to do that. Otherwise, people will ridicule, people will praise and all that. But if the standards are made public, it will die down this type of noise and then heat around the awards.
We're going into another year. The president is expected to deliver his final State of the Nation address on January 3. That will be Friday. And do you have any expectations?
I expect the president to be able to give accounts of the stewardship of his office for the last 4 years. And he should be bold enough to tell us what actually happened and the solutions that provided thereof. I don't want anything short of this. Otherwise, people will begin to talk, people will begin to, grumble and all these things. But I expect a proper account of the stewardship of his office, and then you should be able to let us know that this is what it is. And that at the end of the day, we can also bid him farewell to the life after office. So we expect that. And it is incumbent upon my president, your president, to be able to do this in a very open, transparent manner. That is all. Yes. The difficulties that confronted his administration, we want to know. Sorry. The solution, we want to know. The efforts, we want to know. Everything about it, we want to know. And I know he is not oblivious of the fact that Ghanaians want to follow this thing and then see the kind of legacy that he has left for us. It is important for today, tomorrow, and the future.
Doc, thank you so much for your time. Grateful that you were able to speak to us.
Yes, I know.
You had to speak to Dr. Asante. He is a senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana and also the head of the Center for European Studies. Is a Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM.